That's good for you.
That's good for you. We're doing like Queen vocal
I guess we don't really need to.
Is this the real?
Ott is a young band from Montreal that consists of keyboardist Matt May, bassist Ben Stidworthy, drummer and violinist Tim Keane, and vocalist and guitarist Tim Beeler. The band originally all formed in 2012 while attending school and released their new Calm EP. Recently, Ott has signed to Constellation Records and are releasing their debut LP, More Than Any Other Day, next Tuesday, April 29th. They have an explosive sound with poetic vocals, creating very refreshing music in a record that will definitely stand out this year. So I'm joined with them today here at CFRC. You're listening to The Vault on air. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming in. You played at the Artel last night here in Kingston. How's that?
It was really nice.
Yeah, it was really fun.
really nice time. This was the first show that we've ever had the record with us. It was also the first show that anyone had heard the record in the crowd. So that was very exciting for us.
Yeah, it was a really
like
nice
a real
space.
band.
Good energy, good people.
So is that like the unofficial album release? Is that
Yeah.
We could call it that.
Call it that. And then do you have an actual release planned?
Yeah, well, we're playing tonight in Toronto, and then we have our official launch tomorrow at the Brasserie Beaubien, which is a small dive bar pretty close to our house, but it's got sentimental value. So a lot of great shows happen there, and one of our first shows was there. So.
Oh, right on. And of course that's back in Montreal. Yeah. So what's the story behind Ott forming?
Well, me, Tim and Tim, we knew each other from playing music from a couple of years before this band started. And then we had an apartment where we could also play music a couple of years ago, 2012 I guess. And so yeah, so we were just playing music together, and then a friend of a friend brought Ben into our lives, and we were jamming together.
The way that I remember it though is that we were just jamming, and I literally walked in and Ben was playing the bass in my
bass
house.
line you just heard.
It was quite surprising, but I stayed.
He stayed. Hasn't left since.
Then you just come in and hop on the drums?
Yeah, well that was kind of how it was working.
Yeah.
And, someone would be playing and someone else would just walk in, and someone else would in our living room, so you couldn't really avoid it.
Cool. And at McGill, I was talking to you last night, and you said you didn't want to be associated with the McGill band, but you all met there.
Yeah, I think we like to think of it as we're like people who happen to have gone to McGill and happen to also all be in this band.
Yeah, right on. And none of you are actually Canadian.
No.
From all over.
Are we allowed to be in here?
Yeah, no, totally.
It's still CanCon though.
It's
still CanCon.
Yeah.
I actually had to go through. I went through the Wikipedia of what makes it CanCon, and it is
the maple
just
thing.
Yeah. We scrape in.
Just made it. Nice.
So we have. You're from Australia.
Yeah, that's right.
You're from Portland.
Oregon.
Jersey.
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah, I grew up in New Hampshire.
Okay, cool. What brought you to Montreal?
We all went to McGill.
Yeah, school.
But just school.
And then stuck around because I really like it.
Yeah. Right on. So recently signed to Constellation Records out of Montreal. How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of had something to do with community radio, but really it was the internet. I was working with CKT, and I don't even know if this is really a part of it. Basically, Graham, who works at Constellation, heard the EP that we recorded that was also called More Than Any Other Day, that features 4 of these songs that Tim Keane recorded. Our friend Mark recorded it, and Tim did all the magic.
Most of the magic.
Anyways, Graham heard that and dragged one of the other people from Constellation to our show. We were opening for our friends Mike and Mia at Sala. Sala Rosa, which is a venue in Montreal, and for some reason they liked the live show. So they were foolish enough to fund our record.
That's awesome. So that's probably been quite the experience so far. Yeah.
It's been really nice. They're really good people.
Yeah, like amazingly supportive.
Very supportive.
I'm still kind of getting into the habit of realizing that other people are caring for us and have our best interests at heart. So every time, occasionally when someone suggests something, I'm like, are you sure? Have you done this before? And I was like, I've done this a million times. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. So there's going to be a Coca-Cola ad coming out.
Yeah.
He said it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Right on. So you've recently gained a lot of attention from some writers and blogs. Just last week, Pitchfork picked out the song Habit as their best new track. Has that had a big effect? Have you heard much?
Definitely had an effect on our email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly gotten more emails. Yeah.
But
I think we're still just doing what we do.
Yeah.
But it is nice. It's definitely nice.
Yeah, and I guess we've been really fortunate to have been really supported in Montreal, even long predating any kind of Pitchfork support. We haven't been outside of Montreal that much. This is only our third time playing in Toronto and our first time playing in Kingston.
For the purposes of my touring grant, we've toured a lot extensively.
We have never stopped touring.
Not stopped playing the shows since.
Can I ask you a question?
Totally.
So I noticed this disco ball here,
Yes.
which is actually really great if we play another song because it's got a bit of a disco vibe. But what is the disco ball on the boom for?
Ooh.
Just kind of a background disco.
A backup disco?
Party in the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
Business at the front. Party at the front, party at the back.
Yeah.
Is that so you can crane it artfully into a shot or something
Ooh,
like that?
Potentially, yeah. We might have to do that for the next song.
Yeah,
Over
yeah.
the drums or something.
I think it should be spinning above Ben's head. That would
Yeah.
be great.
I think he should have one at all times above his head.
Yeah.
I could have one hanging from the bass.
You should. That's a good
That would
idea.
be cute.
That would be.
Maybe an idea for your show tonight?
Yeah.
Can we borrow it?
That's how we
You're coming back to Kingston on the
There
way. Yeah. Cool. Are you guys nervous for album reviews at all coming out next week? So that'll probably be a thing. Have you thought about it at all?
Honestly, I'm just excited for my
Excited?
friends to hear
Yeah.
this record.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
it's very strange for me to have this kind of external noise attention on something that we've made, and I think maybe in making it, we mostly were thinking about what our friends would think of it, and if they don't like it, then we're doing something wrong. But the rest of the world, it's great that they're weighing in, and it's really nice, and I'm definitely going to read it because I can't stop. But it's not going to. Hopefully, it shouldn't change what we're doing or whatnot.
Right on. Good way to go about it. So I've heard your sound described through lots of different genres and comparisons from the Talking Heads to Sonic Youth. Last night I was thinking Ian Curtis, Joy Division. Do you describe your sound in a certain way, or if you were going to describe your sound, how would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the funny thing is different sort of comparisons have sort of popped up over the past 2 years, and a lot of times I don't know, they usually have something to do with the vocal delivery, I guess, not always, but I remember when people were saying we had on the last EP, people were oh, there's a lot of Jonathan Richman vibes in there, and I had heard the Modern Lovers, but I had honestly never even listened to the full length or listened to any of his solo stuff, and so I don't know. I mean, I think the comparisons are nice and good way to give people access to a sound, instead of really trying to describe every little element. But I think the fact that we get lots of different comparisons, I think, is someone help me out here. But we try to really think of ourselves not as a genre band.
We're just a rock band.
Yeah, we're just.
Do what we do.
Yeah.
Matt exclusively listens to harsh noise music, so honestly,
I thought we were harsh noise
doesn't
band
even
for
know.
so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we were to draw a line between harsh noise music and Joni Mitchell, we're right in the middle.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I was listening to an interview the other day, and you said someone thought you were a new metal band.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was pretty.
I think that was you, wasn't it?
That was
You also
me
thought we were
describing
a
it
metal
as a
band.
new metal band. But the funny part was there was confusion as to what sense of new it was. The interviewer thought he was talking about new as in any
Recent metal.
Right, recent metal. And then I was referring to new metal, the genre.
NU, really.
NU, right. And
New metal.
But honestly, either one I feel is accurate and fair. So.
Cool. So you were talking about your very distinct vocal style a bit earlier. It's very like speak, sing, kind of like poetic conjunction almost. Has this always been the case with your writing, or like what's the process when you're writing?
I don't know. I mean, I think like definitely not for like me as a person making music. Like before this band mostly played like folk stuff, and then projects I was in with Tim Keen beforehand I was definitely singing more. And I guess it didn't really occur to me that like until a lot of people were mentioning the like speak sing thing. But yeah, I mean for sure I guess the lyrics are like really an important part for me as far as my contribution to this project. Like we write all the songs collaboratively, and so like the vocals are like my 1/4 I guess, and so I don't know, I guess that's just how I found an interlocking rhythm. But like on the older stuff, and I'm sure on newer stuff, like it's not like I will always be the speak sing thing, and like I don't know. But I don't know, do that is.
Yeah, totally. Do you write poetry as well? Is that?
Yeah, I used to write, and I have like another project where I only do kind of spoken word stuff while I work with this amazing musician AJ Cornell in Montreal who does like soundscape stuff. Well, but I don't see it as like poetry over music or anything like that. It's just lyrics to go with the jam that we're working on.
Right on. So yeah, your new album, More Than Any Other Day, coming out next week. I heard this was done in like a span of like 12 days or something.
Sounds like a long time.
Yeah.
It's done in much less.
3
Much
or
less than
4.
3 or 4.
We
wow.
tracked in 3 days and
Yeah.
we mixed in 3 days, and we had a couple of overdub sessions.
Yeah.
It was very, very, very quick.
In the morning before we all went to work, we
Mhm.
came in and did overdub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was-
We just played them. We played them twice.
Yeah.
And then that's the
That
record.
was it.
So I guess you knew what you're doing going into the recording process.
Yeah. A couple of these had been recorded before, so that sort of helped. But then also, yeah, it's just I think that's just our style of just like we got them all sort of sussed out before we went in there.
Yeah, I see us as a live band. I can't
Yeah.
imagine us spending that. I can imagine us spending just a little bit more time in the studio,
Yeah.
you know, just time to like sit down and like drink a cup of tea or something. But honestly,
Maybe one more week.
just another week. But just another month.
Yeah.
But honestly, we are, I don't know, primarily a live band or primarily a band that like sees playing live is really what we do, rather than a band that like sculpts a record and then tries to showcase that record.
Right.
So it made a lot of sense. There was very little that was different in the studio from what a live show was like. Hopefully that came across on the record.
Yeah. I think that definitely shows in your live show as well. I don't know, I definitely felt, your live show was incredible last night, and I just got a lot more out of the record watching you guys perform, and very energetic, and
Cool.
yeah,
Thanks.
That's great.
It's really awesome. You just released a music video for the Weather song last week.
Yeah.
Kind of a green screeny. I don't really know what's going on in it.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. What was the idea behind that?
Our friends Isaac and Louise, who work at CKT in Montreal, shot it, but Tim Keen did all the video wizardry, which I'm really happy about.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm very happy with it. I think the idea was to, music videos are inherently a fairly funny thing to be making. We're just basically miming along to a song,
Right.
and like no matter what, it's funny. So I think I wanted to kind of hark back to when green screen was still a really exciting form, and music videos could get away with just putting anything behind a video,
Right.
and they'd be like, oh my god, how did they do that?
But the thing is, my mom watched it and she was like, how did he do that swirl?
Yeah, that's true. The swirl back is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
That's funny.
But
Cool. So what's next for What you guys have lined up for this summer?
Well, we were offered a 4 CD contract with Virgin Records to make to make adult contemporary music for their Hot AC Sirius XM channel. So
I think we're gonna do
it's
that.
really lucrative. We're gonna do it.
I'm actually taking a
Sounds like a
separate
hell of a
contract
contract.
where I just make 30-second loops for elevators
Mm.
that just play over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But no, there are tour dates that are going to be announced with the record,
Yeah.
so you can look forward to that.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Do I get sued for saying stuff that is about Virgin on the radio? Like,
We can only, there's only one way to find out.
Someone
keep
be like,
going.
that's slander.
Yeah.
It's Virgin with a Y, VY.
That's right. Very small label out of Halifax.
Yeah. It's actually a really cool thing.
Yeah, it's super cool.
But yeah, actually we're gonna be announcing hopefully a lot of tour dates when the record comes out on the 29th.
Yeah. So I think some exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're going to Europe.
Wow. All right. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that you are going to
Yeah.
Europe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Where would you really want to play? Or what's
Good
on
question. We did this on the
Great
car ride
question.
here.
Kind of.
You play
Sort of.
one place anywhere in the world.
Ben said Las Vegas, which I thought was weird. Like he's like favorite place in the world.
I think
Instantly says Las Vegas.
My Frank Sinatra impersonation would go over really well. in
That's
that.
true.
Mm.
Is Frank Sinatra still alive?
No.
I don't
No. Rude.
Sorry.
It's a Jersey boy.
I would love to play in New Hampshire one time. There's a cool festival there called The Thing in the Spring, which is like in 2 weeks. But
Cool.
it's always like it's fun to play in the
Definitely.
smaller places that don't normally have bands come through.
If anyone who books the thing in the spring is listening to
Yeah,
this radio
yeah,
show,
super
we
excited
would
to do it.
love to play it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Or I would play in Vermont too, like someplace where bands don't really stop.
I was actually just having the same thing. I'd love to someday just play my hometown, you know?
Yeah.
That represents quite a lot of, to get back there, to get back from whence I came is quite a lot of,
Mhm.
you have to do a lot of work, you know?
Australian
It's
booking
great.
agents, if you're
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
Right on. So yeah, Europe. Are you gonna do a North American thing as well? Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. We'll
Maybe
see
you
what
have
happens.
to check the website on
On the
April
29th, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. You ought to check it out.
Oh. We gotta keep like a chalkboard in the
Yeah,
video.
yeah. Ben's gonna get shot every
Yeah, I was just. He's really drunk right now.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming in. That was awesome. Again, their new Ott's new LP, More Than Any Other Day, comes out next Tuesday, April 29th, via Constellation Records. And yeah, you're listening to The Vault on CFRC 101.9 FM. Cool.
Sweet.